On this day in history at 8:45 on a clear Tuesday morning, an American Airlines Boeing 767 carrying 92 souls crashed into the North Tower of the World Trade Center in New York City. The impact left a gaping burning hole near the 80th floor of the 110-story skyscraper, instantly killing hundreds of people and trapping hundreds more in the higher floors. As the evacuation of the tower and its twin got underway, television cameras broadcasted live images of what initially appeared to be a freak accident. 18 minutes after the first plane hit, a second Boeing 767, United Airlines Flight 175, appeared out of the sky, turned sharply towards the World Trade Center, and sliced into the South Tower at about the 60th floor. The collision caused a massive explosion that showered burning debris over surrounding buildings and the streets below. This was no accident. The attackers were Islamic extremists who were part of Osama bin Laden's al-Qaeda terrorist organization. Some of the terrorists had lived in the United States for more than a year and had taken flying lessons at American commercial flight schools. Easily smuggling box cutters and knives through the security at 3 East Coast airports and boarding 4 flights bound for California. Soon after takeoff, the terrorists commandeered the 4 planes and took the controls, transforming the ordinary commuter jets into guided missiles. 2,977 people died, and more than 6,000 others were injured. The immediate deaths included 265 on the 4 planes, another 2,606 in the World Trade Centers and in the surrounding area, and 125 at the Pentagon. At least 11 pregnancies were lost as a result of 9/11. Most of those who perished were civilians, except for the 343 firefighters and 71 law enforcement officers who died in the World Trade Center and on the grounds in New York City. The attacks were the deadliest terrorist acts in world history and the most devastating foreign attack on United States soil since the attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941. I would now like to share a personal story with you. Every year, I teach this lesson to more and more students that are born after 2001. For many of you, this is just another tragic event in history. But for some, it is more. I was 10 years old in the 5th grade when the 9/11 attacks occurred. There are some events in your life that you never forget, and there are others that you can't. On that morning, I woke up to a nearly silent house. This was unusual, as my dad would have had his favorite 80s hits going while he got ready. A second strange indicator was that I could hear the TV on in the living room. As I made my way down the hall in the morning, I could hear the news broadcast, something about an accident. As I walked into the room, I noticed 2 things. My mom was crying, and my dad looked scared. To this day, I will never forget the look on my parents' faces. As a teacher, I have shared this story with my classes in an effort to give a personal account of someone that was not much younger than you. We often forget when we learn about history that not all events are from the distant past or in faraway places. Sometimes they happen to you. For our activity today, we will be looking at a timeline to help us better understand and remember the events of 9/11. With a group, partner, or individual, you will be analyzing a timeline of events that occurred on 9/11. Treat this activity like a potential discussion for class. Answer the reflection questions honestly and with compassion. For some, this is just a horrible day in the past. But for others, it is the worst day of their life. Remember, What we learn in history happened to someone.